is the last one for me before the break. Eric has one tomorrow evening. Everybody's welcome to join in. And we'll restart again on Tuesday the 1st of September. It's the day after the bank holiday. And at this point in time, we're planning on doing similar pattern sessions, but with a few extra things to include some mindfulness meditation and yoga nidra. So if you're pressing into the soles of your feet and just really slowing the breath, just bringing yourself into the room. I think at the moment, this sort of wobbly world we're living in, I think we need to be reminded that we need to look after ourselves that little bit more carefully probably than we normally do. So moving the weight around into the sides of the feet, into the heels, round into the balls of the feet, spreading those toes a couple of times one way and then very, very steadily back around the other, and just slowing the breath as we do and just trying to relax everything down. That's super. Well done. And then moving up onto the balls of the feet, lifting those heels, starting to stretch out those calves. A little bit of a balance as we go, spreading those toes. Up we go and down. And in a moment we'll introduce some breathing. That's looking good. So breathing in and stretching all the way through, fingertips up to that ceiling. All the way down again, just expanding the chest. And off we go, that's it. Once more, just biggest stretch you can do. Opening out those palms, opening out those fingers. That's super, well done. And then taking the toes out, we start the kidney taps, just starting to warm everything up as we go. That's it. Nice and steadily, and just being conscious of how everything's feeling. You know, sometimes when people have been gardening and things, everything starts to tighten up, and then up to shoulder level, remembering to lift and turn the opposite knee. So we're not twisting the knees, but we are twisting the belly. So it's a lovely massage of the internal organs as we go. That's super. Well done. And then up to eye level. Just gently watching those fingers. Seeing if you can twist a little bit further round with each movement. That's it. Nice and steady. And then back down to shoulder level. Just keeping those twists consistent. And breathing slowly as we go. That's well done. And then back down to the kidney taps and bringing those feet back in line underneath those shoulders as we do. Rearranging the t-shirt as we always do. We start to pull those arms forward, pushing those fingers, just pulling through from those shoulders, elbows, wrists and fingers. Really opening up these shoulders and then pushing the air away. Great big palms, great big stretches. Nice balanced stretch as we go. That's it. That's super. Looking good. And then back round the other way, all the way around. That's super. Good strong movement. Nice and steady. Well done. And then one arm forward and one arm back, just raising that rear palm to the ceiling, stretching across these shoulders. A really strong stretch. And then taking both arms to the front, we start an alternate windmill, really opening up this upper back and like a figure of 8 movement actually across those shoulders. As we go, it often starts to burn a little bit, but that's okay. That's okay, just warming everything up and then back the opposite way, returning nice and steadily. Sometimes arms aren't doing their own thing, but I wouldn't worry as long as they're moving. That's what's so important, keeping everything mobile. That's super, looking good. And then taking those arms down, bringing them out to shoulder level, turning the palms to the ceiling and rotating. Nice strong circles, 3 and 4. Reversing the hands and rotating back. That's it, 2, 3 and 4. Well done. Bringing those arms down, always a little bit of relief when we've done that. And then not forgetting these little, oh no, we'll do a shrug, that's it, a shrug, just to relieve the tension. I knew there was something we needed to do. Relieve the tension, shrugging these shoulders forward. That's it. Just takes that tension out and then back the other way. That's super. Well done. Just takes that tightness out as we go, and relaxing those shoulders down. And not forgetting these little finger joints, just a little bit of resistance on each finger, flicking those fingers as hard as you can. That's it. Just making sure that we're not forgetting our thumbs. Just really a little bit of resistance for those fingers to work against. That's super. Well done. On to the hips now then. Nice and steadily, hip raising, lifting one heel, then the other. We're just tilting the pelvis from side to side, being conscious of any lower back tension that's there. 3 and 4, and then relaxing those knees down. We're going into a lovely hip rotation. 2. The biggest circles you can draw. 3 and 4. Bring the belly back to the front, pull it into the spine and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, and release, and 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Back to the front and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, and release, and the other way. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Back to the front and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, and release, and the last 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Back to the front and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. Well done. Pelvic floor. Just think of those muscles like a big hammock of muscles. Big breath in. Big breath out. Pull up the floor and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. Big breath in. Big breath out. Pull up the floor and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. Well done. Just important for bladder and bowel control, so can't do enough of those really. So we're going to get down onto the mat and get a belt or a strap. If you have one, you can do it without. We're going to just warm up these hips, knees and ankles. So getting yourself nicely placed on the mat, making sure the shoulders are square, making sure those hips are square, and putting a loop of your strap around one foot. It doesn't matter which one, because we always do both, as you know. So getting that in position, make sure everything's square before we move. Make sure we keep those hips down. We're not just rolling backwards and forwards. We're just trying to open out this hip joint. So sole of the foot to the ceiling, fully extended leg, and off we go, just rotating the foot around the ankle. 2, 3, and 4. The biggest rotation you can get in that ankle. 2, 3, and 4. And then starting the whole leg rotation, bigger and bigger circles. Try not to kick the furniture as we go. If the hip clunks a bit, that is okay. If it starts to hurt, ease back. Realize I'm kicking the bed now, but never mind, I never get my position quite right. And then back the other way, smaller and smaller circles, all the way back up to the top. All the way to the top until the sole of the foot facing the ceiling, fully extended leg. Nice, strong, bend down, stretch, pushing at the heel each time. 2, 3, and 4. Well done. Let the leg roll out to 45 degrees. Feel the stretch in the inner thigh, and then we go again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well done. Back up to the vertical and just gently moving the whole leg across the body and back as if you're pointing to a clock face. Number 10 and number 2. There we go. And 4, and then back up to the vertical. Release the strap, relax the leg and push, push, push all the way down, until the leg reaches the floor. A couple of gentle breaths. When you're ready, just change the strap onto the other foot. All the work we do, all the posture work, all the warm-up we do with strength in every limb, so it just makes the body work a little bit harder. So take the sole of the foot to the ceiling, fully extended leg. Start to rotate the foot around the ankle. Lovely rotation. 3 and 4, and then back the other way, trying to keep the legs straight and still. That's super, looking good. And 4, and then starting the whole leg rotation. Really opening up this hip joint. Making sure your other hip is well placed and rolling around. Bigger and bigger circles. Bigger and bigger circles until the leg is almost sweeping the floor, and then very, very gently guiding it back up to the top. Smaller and smaller circles all the way through. That's it. Until the sole of the foot is facing the ceiling, fully extended leg. A nice strong bend and stretch, pushing at the heel each time. 2, 3, and 4. Let the leg roll out to 45 degrees. Feel a stretch in the inner thigh. And then we go again. 1, pushing with that heel each time. 2, 3, and 4. Well done. Up to the vertical, across the body and back. Across the body and back. That's it. 2, 3, and 4. Well done. Taking the leg back to the vertical, fully extended leg. Release the strap, relax the leg, and push, push, push all the way to ground. And let that leg roll out. Just slipping that strap off. We're going to use that strap again in a moment. But whilst we're here, we'll do a couple of more postures just to open up these hips. If you're bringing the soles of the feet together, we're going to go into a bound angle posture. Just really trying to continue to open up these hips. Really allowing those knees to fall to ground. You're trying to get them as low as possible. Heels towards your buttocks. Heels are connected, sides of the feet, balls of the feet and the toes. When you've got those anchored, then take those arms overhead and stretch away. Feel it stretch all the way from the belly, all the way through the side of the body, all the way through the armpits, through the elbows, wrists and fingers. The biggest stretch you can do, but making sure you're not lifting those knees. And making sure those toes are still connected and those feet are well grounded. And breathing gently. That's super. Well done. Bringing those arms back down by your side. We're going to go into a couple of bridges with extensions. We always include it. It's really good for the core and extremely good for the lower back. So bringing the heels towards the buttocks as close as you can. Move using your mat to push those heels towards the buttocks, making sure those shoulders are nice and square. We're going to start with a pelvic tilt, pubic bone towards the ceiling, pushing into those heels and lifting that lower back off the floor. You may need to reposition your feet slightly to get the spacing strong. Make sure you're not holding on with those toes. They should be able to wiggle, and push into those heels to see if you can go a little bit higher. And you just expand that stretch at the front of the body. It pushes you onto the top of your shoulder blades and lifts more of your back from the floor. Breathing very, very gently, we then start to roll the back down, all the way down, all the way down to the mat. When the buttocks touch down, we do the little pelvic tilt, and that releases the lower back from the mat. Reposition those feet, push those heels in towards those buttocks. We're going to do this once more, and this time we're going to lift one leg and move it, and then we'll do the other side. If you don't want to lift your leg, it's absolutely fine, just keep in the bridge. So pelvic tilt, pubic bone towards the ceiling, pushing into those heels, lifting that lower back up off the floor. Get yourself into a good strong bridge. When we get into the strong bridge, I want you to decide which leg you're going to lift. It doesn't matter, we'll always do both. So what I'd like you to do is choose which leg. I'd like you to then extend it out and try to keep those knees in line. And then I'd like you to take the foot to the ceiling. And I'd like to take the knees back in line. Foot to the ceiling. Back in line. And then take the foot down. And if you're anything like me, my bridge starts to sag. So push it back up again. Mine starts to get a bit of a dip in the middle. So repositioning your bridge, get it big, get it strong. We're going to do it with the other leg. So when you're ready, we're going to lift the other leg in line, so the knees are in line. We're going to take the foot to the ceiling. We're taking the knees back in line. We're taking the foot to the ceiling. That's good. Taking them back in line. Taking that foot back down again. And adjust your bridge if it needs it. Yours may be fine, but mine seems to buckle under the strain. So when we're ready from the heart, this bridge will nicely roll the back down. Nicely roll the back down. Super. Well done. Well done. I'm going to do that once more, only this time feet stay where they are. We're going to take the arms overhead. So pushing the feet back to a good start place. We're going to start with a pelvic tilt, pubic bone towards the ceiling, and as the back leaves the floor, the fingers and the arms leave the floor and go all the way back over. And then pushing into those heels again to see if you go a little bit higher. Your toes should be mobile, your face should be relaxed, you should be breathing, but you should be in a really good extended stretch. Lower back having to work really hard. Feeling the stretch all the way through the front of the thighs, the belly, the chest, the arms, to the fingers. When you're ready, take the fingertips back to the ceiling without moving anything else. And then very, very gently rolling that round back down. Bring those arms down. As the back touches down, the buttocks touch down, the fingers touch down as well. Just to relieve the lower back tension, take the arms out to shoulder level. Take the knees off to the left and take the face to the right. Lovely supine twist. Really takes that tension away from the back and massages the internal organs in the belly. That's super. Make those legs as heavy as can be. Don't hold on to them. A couple of gentle breaths. Bring the knees back to center. And take the knees off to the right and take the face to the left. Breathing gently the whole of the time. Breathing gently the whole of the time. That's super. Well done. And then come up into sitting. So come up into sitting. I'm just moving this mat. So, sitting on our sitting bones. As I say, once you find them, you never lose them. But it doesn't necessarily mean it feels any easier sitting up like this. got fully extended legs, we've got flexed feet, which basically means we engage the whole leg. We see the gorgeous muscles that we didn't realise we had. And we're sitting up so the hips and the shoulders are nicely in line, going into a nice seated forward bend. Make sure those feet are fully flexed, and we're taking the arms up to the ceiling. And that's looking good, just pulling up out of our waist. And we're going to fold our body down these wonderful legs. So we're going to take in our belly to our thighs, our face to our knees, and our hands somewhere near those feet. Well done. When you get down there, take a breath in, a breath out, push further, a breath in, a breath out, push further, a breath in, a breath out, push further and hold. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then very gently coming back up the way we came in. Everything done with strength. That's super. Well done. Well done. If you've got a belt or a strap, if you get that, we're going to just do our boat again. Good for core strength. And the strap just helps support the posture really, and often means you can do it a little bit longer. So you don't have to use a belt. You can actually use your hands, or you can do it without, whichever you prefer. But using the belt, we would hold it at about knee height, and our knees are currently bent. Our heels are on the mat, and our sitting bones are on the mat. And what we're going to do is go into half boat, which is basically lifting onto our sitting bones, trying to make sure that back is nice and straight. The head is in line with the back. And then we're going to extend those legs, straighten those legs. That's super. And then bending those again. That's good. Without putting them down. And then up again. Looking good. And bending again, making sure we're breathing. We're well rooted into those sitting bones. And then once more, taking those feet up. Well done. Bending those knees and take the heels down to the floor. That's super. We're going to go into our back bend, and the one we're going to do today, I'm going to go sideways to help explain it. It's called fish. What I'd like you to do is get your hands underneath your sitting bones, so you're actually sitting on those sitting bones. That's where we're starting, and that's all about getting the shoulders and the elbows behind you, really. It's a good back bend, this one. It's well supported. What I need you to do is actually engage those legs. We want those legs long and strong. And what I'd like you to do, making sure the shoulders and elbows are behind, what you're going to do is, to begin with, I'm just asking you to take yourself down onto your elbows. Okay, so we're actually propped, if you like, on your elbows. Propped on your elbows, so we've got a bit of a back bend going on, but we extend it by taking the head back, but only when we're ready. So making sure those legs are long and strong. What I'd like you to do is take the chest up towards the ceiling and take the head back. It may or may not go to the floor, but the idea is you're resting on your elbows, you're not resting on the head or the neck. If the head touches the floor, that's okay, it's just another point of balance. But you're not trying to support any weight on that head. And you're breathing gently. It's a lovely back bend. Your buttocks are nicely encasing your fingertips. And breathing gently the whole of the time. And when you're ready to come out of it, you literally push into those elbows, release the back to the floor, and move those elbows out. You do find you're not laid on your hands and your arms, but that's not a problem. It's a nice relaxed feeling after doing fish. So we're going to get ourselves up. My hands and arms are being well squashed. I'm sure yours haven't. So we're going into our cat and cow. Just because we've done some forward, we've done some back bends, we're going to go just to relieve the lower back, and taking the knees underneath these hips, taking the heels of the hands underneath these shoulders. We're in a neutral position. That means our face is facing the mat and our head and neck are in line with our back. I'd like to start with cat and cow. That means taking your face down through those arms, pulling the belly up to the spine and arching the back. It's going wide, it's going long, really stretching that back out. And then we're lowering the belly, we're lowering the back, and we're bringing the face forward. That's it, just really reversing that move in the back. Bringing that face back down again. We're going back through, pulling the belly up to the spine as we do. That's super. And then lowering the belly, lowering the back, and bringing the face forward. That's good. Going back into a neutral position. What I'd like you to do is think about your right leg. And I'd like you to lift your right leg and take it back, really fully extended. And then I'd like you to lift and lower, really get this hip to work too. Just lifting and lowering 3 or 4 times, 3 and 4, making sure that hip is doing that work. And take that knee back where it came from. And we're going to work on the opposite side. So when we're ready, nice neutral position, taking the left leg back. And we're going to lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. A really good strong stretch and lower. Well done. Thinking about your right knee and your nose now. So I'd like you, when you're ready, to take your nose down and bring the right knee in towards it. And then taking the right leg back and up, bringing that face forward. Bringing the knee towards the nose. Taking it back and up. Looking good. Bringing the knee towards the nose. Taking it back and up. Well done. Take that knee back where it came from. And we'll work on the other side. So left knee this time. Same nose. Bringing the nose down. Left knee in. Out and up. Face forward. Bringing that knee forward. Taking it back. And bringing the face forward as well. Bringing that knee in. Taking it out. And up, and then once more, last time, bringing that knee forward, out and up. That's looking good, super stretch, particularly around the hips. That's super, well done. While we're here, we'll do a couple of twists. We'll start with thread the needle. So, starting in a neutral position, I'd like you to lift your right hand, take the back of the hand to the mat. Then we're going to thread the needle and feed that hand through between the other hand and knee. So when you're ready, you're taking that hand through, taking the elbow and the shoulder down towards the mat. Just a lovely twist across the top of the body, stretching out with those extended fingers as much as you can. And then pushing into the standing hand to bring you back up again. What we've done one side, we'll do the other, so it's lifting the left hand this time. And very, very gently threading the needle back through, taking the shoulder and the head down towards that mat. And breathing gently as well. That's super. Pushing into the standing hand to bring you back up. Well done. Been twisted one way, we're going to twist the other. So I'd like you to take your right heel down, toes to the ceiling, reposition your left hand and left knee so you've got a sort of slightly closer arrangement. It just gives you a better base. And then what we're going to do with the right hand is sweep out and up to the sky. Really opening out everything, opening out the body. Make sure you're trying to get a nice line between those arms. Making sure you're pointing to the ceiling and not a wall or a window. Bringing that arm back down again. And then once more, sweeping out and up. That's super. That's super. Face following that sweep round to the top and back down again. We bring the right knee in and take the left one out, heel down, toes up, reposition the right hand side, and when we're ready we're going again, so off to the left and up to the top. Just lovely strong movement, breathing gently the whole of the time, and bring that arm back down. And then when you're ready, out and up. Lovely strong movement, nice straight lines. That's super, well done. Bringing that down. And then before we stand, we'll just go into extended child, so take those knees apart. Just hunkering down, let the belly settle between those thighs and just stretching out, just allow everything to sink down onto the mat. You're trying to make yourself as low as possible. Really relaxing everything down. Before we stand. The next bit. That's super. Well done. Right. Going to go up onto our feet. Well done. Well done. So, a couple of whole body stretches. And then before we go into relaxation, I'll go into the warrior sequence. Surprising how much yoga warms you up. People think of it as very gentle, and it is gentle because you do it with sort of kindness with your body, but actually it does really make the body work sometimes. So we're going to start with some chair and box squat and high flight. So we're going to take those arms overhead into ready to go into chair. So remembering, chair's a whole body posture. We don't tighten the toes and we don't tighten the face, and we breathe all the time. So we start by taking the buttocks down towards those heels into a nice squat, and then we bring the whole body forward. Just pivot the whole body forward, trying to keep the head in line with those biceps. Those hands are strong, the arms are strong, the toes are relaxed. And then when you're ready, we push into those heels to bring ourselves back up again. Well done. We're going to do that once more, stretching up, really stretching up out to those shoulders. Starting again into the squat, taking the bum down towards the heels, bringing the body forward. That's it. We'll turn it into a balance by going up onto the balls of the feet. Now the toes do have some work to do to help balance, making sure you're still breathing, making sure everything is strong. You're just lifting those heels and it just makes everything work a little bit harder. Well done, that's looking good. And then taking those heels down, pushing ourselves back up again. Well done. Bringing the hands into prayer position. We're going to go into a twist, making sure those elbows are nicely in line. We go into the squat with those legs, taking those knees forward, bum down towards the ankles. I'm trying to think what they are, the heels, and we're taking the upper body forward to go into a twist. Make sure those knees don't move. We're going to take the left elbow over the right knee without moving that right knee. Don't move that right knee. Take the right elbow up to the ceiling. That's it. Pace, following the fingers. Back to center again without moving those knees. And go off to the left. Make sure those toes are relaxed. That's it. Nice. Strong twist. As we go back to center, pushing into those heels. And bringing us up. Well done. We're going to go into a box squat and high flight. So we're taking the arms overhead. Make sure those heels are underneath our hips. We're starting by taking the buttocks down towards those heels. We're going into chair and then we're keeping moving. Taking the belly to the thighs. We're taking the fingertips all the way down either side of those feet. We're taking those arms back. We're bringing that face forward. And we're straightening those legs. Straightening those legs. It's like a ski jump. But squat and high flight. Just feel the stretch through the body as we do. And then very, very gently going back down through. All the way up to the top. This time with a bit of a back bend. Reach it back. Lovely stretch. And then all the way forward. Buttocks down towards those heels, taking the belly down to the thighs, fingertips sweeping past those feet, straightening those legs, taking those arms back and bringing the face forward. That's it, super, looking good. Just like ski jumpers. Absolutely brilliant, feeling that lovely stretch through the back of those thighs as we go. And then down we go again, through, all the way back to the top, and then relaxing those arms down. Super, well done. While we're here, we're going to do a couple of side stretching in triangle. So I'd like you to move your legs out, sort of in a leg distance apart, so sort of wider probably than you think they should be. I'd like you to keep your left foot pointing forward, the direction you're standing, and I'd like you to turn your right foot out about 90 degrees, but without twisting that knee. The whole thing about a triangle, any triangle posture is, you should be able to do the whole thing against a wall without moving away from the wall. It's not easily done near a wall, but you tend to sort of naturally want to move away from it. But the idea is that your shoulders and buttocks should, well, it depends how big your buttocks are. Your shoulders and your buttocks should keep in line with the wall the whole of the time. It's a sideways move, so it's not a forward or a backwards move. So to go into this triangle, we're going to take our arms out to shoulder level, making sure they're in the right place before we start. And then what we're going to do is shimmy, what I call shimmy, over the extended leg. So we're shimmying forward over the extended leg. Well done. So it's a sideways shimmy, and that gets the line, sort of things lined up on the left-hand side of the body. We're taking our right hand down in front of the thigh, in front of the knee, wherever it lands. Don't push too much at this point. We're taking our left hand forward, and then we're going to sweep it all the way around and onto our buttock. And then look to the left and look over your left shoulder and make sure that left shoulder is back. The whole idea of that is making sure that shoulder hasn't moved forward. What we're going to do now is then take the hand from the buttock, slide it up towards the ceiling, and see if you can slide a little bit further down that extended leg. That's it. You're trying to put a nice straight line through those arms, feeling the stretch all the way through. It's looking good, looking good. That's super, all the way through. Feeling that stretch. Make sure the toes are relaxed, the face is relaxed, and you're breathing. Breathing gently, and to come out of it, you just bend both knees and just release the tension out of those arms. What we've done one side, we're doing the other. So turn the right foot in to point your sort of direction, and turn your left foot out now about 90 degrees, just making sure you're not damaging the knee and making sure these hips and shoulders are nicely in line. So when we're ready, we're taking the arms out to shoulder level again, and this time we're shimmying the opposite way. So just feel that shimmy the opposite way. It always feels a little bit different, I think, when you do it a second time. Feel that shimmy over the extended leg. That's it. Take your left hand down in front of the left knee or into the thigh or wherever it lands. Don't push it at this point. Take the right hand out in front of you to begin with, and then sweep it all the way around and onto That left buttock and take that shoulder back. That's it, really keeps the shoulder and hips well in line. Breathing gently the whole of the time. And then when we're ready, we're going to take this right hand up to the ceiling and see if we can slide a little bit further down that extended leg. That's it. Just extending that stretch. Feeling the stretch all the way through the body. That's looking really good. Breathing gently the whole of the time. Make sure you're not leaning forwards and losing your wall position. Couple of gentle breaths, and then we'll bend both knees and relax those arms and bring everything back to where we were. And before we go into warrior, I can't resist a quick goddess. Life's never too, there's always time for a goddess, is what I think. So legs, good inner distance, leg distance apart. This time you're moving both feet out at about 45 degrees. You may need to adjust a little bit depending on how things are feeling. And then basically what I'm wanting you to do is sit down into a squat, taking the buttocks down towards the mat and taking those knees out. You're trying to keep your shins upright. You're trying to keep your shins upright at 90 degrees. You're not overshooting those knees. And we're sitting down into this goddess. All of a sudden everything's having to work really quite hard to sort of lunge down into this goddess. The shoulders should be still above the hips. And what we're going to do is start by taking the arms out, elbows bent at shoulder level. So just making sure we're not pulling out of this squat beneath us. We're sitting down, our head's nicely positioned at the top of our spine. Our elbows are in line with our shoulders. Sometimes you've got to check because they might drift. If your palms are facing the side of your head, then what I want you to think about is your little fingers and twist those hands so that little fingers move towards those ears and towards the wall behind. That's it. And that fully engages those arms as well. Strong posture is the goddess, very strong, but then goddesses are really strong because we are. You have to be. And we're really in a good, strong posture. The legs are working hard, the core's working hard, the shoulders to hold these arms. And the arms are fully engaged. Toes should be relaxed. Face should be relaxed. You'll be able to smile. And we should be breathing. Superb goddesses. They look absolutely marvellous. Strong and wonderful. Brilliant. I keep telling everybody we're going to be gorgeous by Christmas and by. I do believe it. I do believe it. I really do. So I just have to keep working on it. So, and when we're ready to take all the tension away, we just basically release those arms and stand straighten those legs. And you feel the work that the body's been doing. Right, I'm going to go into reminding you just briefly about the warrior sequence. We've only done it a couple of times. We couldn't do it last week because I didn't have the music. So I shall run through with you. I've got Eric in the room, and that's because I need him to press the button. Because our warrior music doesn't have any introduction on it. So he's going to put that on in like now for us to practice it. He sat on the bed with his headphones on listening to some yogic text as he does Patanjali or something similar. Oh dear. So we'll get the music ready, but remembering the warrior sequence is basically moving side to side the whole of the time. Everything's done to a count of 4. And the idea when we do it is trying to ensure that we do really strong lunges, really strong postures throughout. At any point in it, if your arms are tired, you can take them down. Or if you're all tired, all over's tired, you can stop. Okay, there's no pressure to keep going. And it builds and builds. And I'll talk you through the first bit, and then at some point I'll stop rabbiting on really, because it's nice just to enjoy it. So I'll just talk you through it and then we'll start it from scratch. So we start in a warrior stance. Our arms are apart, our feet are apart, and fingertips we usually have in a clasp like this, but some people prefer to keep the hands facing. So everything's to the count of 4. So we go 2, 3, 4, and turn. 2, 3, 4, and lunge. 2, 3, 4, and forward. 2, 3, 4, and down. 2, 3, 4, and forward. 2, 3, 4, and up. 2, 3, 4, and straighten. 2, 3, 4, and turn. 2, 3, 4, and turn. 2, 3, 4, and lunge. 2, 3, 4, and forward. 2, 3, 4, and down. 2, 4, and forward. 2, 3, 4, and up. 2, 3, 4, and straighten. 2, 3, 4, and turn. And so we go on. So just bring your arms down for a moment. So basically everything's on the count of 4. We don't need to do down dogs for inverts, because actually when we take our head down, well, it's actually an invert if you get your head down far enough. But as I say, at any point you want to stop, just do. And then we'll go into relaxation. So I'll get Eric ready to start it again. We'll get into start position. And I'll tell you when we get to the bit at the end, where we've just got just to bring the arms down at the end of it all. So when we're almost ready, I think we're there now, Eric. Yes, so it's 2, 3, 4, and turn. 2, 3, 4, and lunge. 2, 3, 4, and forward. 2, 3, 4, and down. And forward. And up. And straighten. And turn. And turn. And lunge. Forward. And down. Forward. And up. And straighten. Turn. That's it. Well done. Turn. Lunge. Looking good. Forward. And down. Forward. Up. And straighten. And turn. Looking very good. And turn. Lunge. Forward. Down. And up. And straighten. Turn. Turn. Lunge. Forward. And down. Up. And straighten. Turn. And turn. Lunge. Forward. Down. Forward. And straight. Turn. Turn. Straight. Turn. Turn. Last two. Back to centre. Bring your arms down. That was lovely. Well done. Well done. Very good. Need help when I stop talking. Very, very good. So it's time for relaxation. If you can get yourselves comfortable, you may have warmed up a little bit. That's okay, but just make sure if you're going to cool down, you have a blanket of some kind, some sort of covering. So just get yourselves into a comfortable place, making sure you've got cushions and coverings as you need them. And just be aware of the breath. And slowing the breath, just taking your time to settle. There's no rush. And don't feel that you can't adjust things if you haven't got things quite right. Just allowing the breath to slow down as you get into your comfortable place. And just encouraging the body to start to release any tension. And the body's active. Physical tensions build up. And it's important just to give the body an opportunity to start to release those tensions. It's not something you can switch on and off. It's something you can assist by slowing the breath. And as you slow the breath, Trying to encourage the out breath to be longer than the in breath. We rarely give ourselves permission to relax and run. We give ourselves permission to do lots of other things. And lots of things to keep us busy. But we rarely give ourselves permission to relax or to rest. It's incredibly important to keep a balance between activity and busyness. To rest. Becoming aware of the rise and fall of the body as we're breathing. And aware of the body lying very calm and very still. Very calm and very still. Feel yourself sinking into the floor. Feel the body spreading, the shoulders widening, the back lengthening. As you release any tension, feel the body becoming heavier and heavier. Be aware of the feet and the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet, and relax. Becoming aware of the shins and the calves. Relax. Encourage the knees to soften. The thighs. Encourage the hip joints to sink down. Be aware of all the internal organs in the belly and the abdomen, sinking back towards the spine. As you breathe into the chest, be aware of it opening out and expanding, and then releasing. Allowing the body to breathe. Relax the throat and the neck. And let go of any tension. Let the face soften. The forehead. The temples, the cheeks, the chin, the jaw, the ears and mouth. Relax the eyes and pools of darkness. Eyelids heavy, sinking back in their sockets. Slow me down and ease the pounding of my heart with the quietening of my mind. Allow me to steady my hurried pace and daily life and find calmness of mind amid the confusion of each day. Release the tension of my mind, nerves and muscles with the slowing of my breath. And help me understand and appreciate the restoring power of sleep. Help me to enjoy each moment of each day. And take small moments to slow down. To look at a flower or the trees around. To chat with a friend. Or smile at a passerby. And to notice if someone seems sad or in need of help. Help me become more aware of the world around. And take small opportunities to just be and not feel life is always about doing. Let me breathe easily and calmly in every moment. And let me help others to do the same. So stay a while and just be with yourself. Start to take slightly deeper breaths. Slowly bring your awareness back to your place in this room. Gently move your fingers, gently moving your toes. And gently moving your head from side to side. Just getting some movement back into the body. On the next in-breath, take both arms overhead. And have a lovely stretch up into your fingertips, down into your heels. Bring your arms down with you on one other side. And have another stretch if you want one. And just turn onto your right side to take a few moments to recover. And when you're ready, just come up into sitting and place your hands into Namaste or prayer position.